Hello and welcome to the making of the Master's Pillar Tardis. I shall go through all the materials of how I made it. You'll need 2 boards of MDF, one at 3mm thick and one at 18mm thick. With the 18mm thick, you want to cut out 3 circles with a router, one for the bottom and one for the top. And the third one, you want to cut part of the circle outer bits out, so then you can use them for supports for a plinth and a pelmet for the lower section and the upper section. For the bottom disc, you want to make around about 50mm in, then router half of the circle out so it has a slot section. This will help corrugated plastic sheet keep its shape within the wooden structure itself. And for the bottom and top, you will use the 3mm MDF, for it can easily bow into shape and screw them onto parts of the 18mm. So then you have a plinth and a pelmet at the top, which will give you that pillar look. And after the 3mm are screwed into position on your routed out 18mm pieces, you then get your corrugated plastic sheet and put it in position in the located slot on your bottom disc. As soon as that's all located and fitting correctly, you then can start screwing on the bottom plinth and the top pelmet. And as you can see, I've done locating screws with washers so the screws do not crack the plastic. As soon as that's all been put together, you then get a can of primer and put your first coat of primer over the whole pillar. And as you can see on the back, you can still see through just a little bit. It doesn't matter. You don't need to spray the back. So this is what it should look like when it's been primered up. As soon as the primer has dried, we then use our first coat of paint, which I used this can here. Now this isn't going to be its actual colour itself. This is just a first base coat, just to blend it in, because to get that Greek column look, you want it to look weathered and old. So we're going to put different layers on. This is going to be its first coat of a top coat. I went for an ivory look at first and it looked a little bit too brand new. So what I needed to do was weather it up a bit more. I then got another can which gives you the texture. When you spray this spray can over it all, you'll assume that it is concrete structure, for it will have that grit and feel grit look to it. Now this is perfectly fine to spray on after the ivory has just been sprayed, but you're going to blend in another colour. After the coat with the texture has adhered to it, we then will move on to our third can of top coat, which has got more of a sandy colour to it. Again, spray the whole pillar. And as you can see, the texture look is still there. It's still a little bit too new looking. So now what you need to do is get yourself a black spray can and go over it lightly in certain areas to bring out that old look to it. Spray it on and then give it a little rub down, and that will give it that smeared, old, weathered look. So it's not just applying black paint onto it, you can actually have more of different layers of different types of paints coming through if it's slightly smeared in certain areas. And as you can see, the finished look looks rather immaculate. This only took me a few hours to actually construct and fully complete, so I was very excited about having one for myself. We shall now go to the master himself and ask, do you think this is acceptable for everyone else to know about your secrets of your TARDIS and how it only took a few hours to construct? Oh, right. Well, let's leave it as that then, and I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like and see more of my videos. Thank you.
Moments such as this should be savored.